What's up, Devlog number 3. I want to talk about checkpoints and levels today. I don't have anything to show you because I was working on design quite a lot, and I have the first couple of levels almost completely done, and now I'm in the process of putting them into the computer coding all the systems that need to be there, and then just having it looks ugly, but more or less works. So I'm in that process. It'll take a little bit more time, probably in the next devlog, maybe sometime next week. What I want to talk about today is the checkpoints and the levels. So we needed to decide what a level is. Okay, a level is essentially, a game is a series of problem solving. It's like challenges, right? So is there just one challenge and that's a level? Which is kind of think about it as a screen and you have something to do and you do it and you're good and you move on to the next level. Or it's a series of challenges and these challenges have something that connects them. So it's a simple challenge and then the same kind of challenge but harder, or there's some kind of progression in terms of mechanics or something that ties these challenges together and makes sense to have in one actual level. So that's what we decided we wanted to do. But in that level, we need to have, if you have a series of challenges and you finish challenge number 3, okay, let's say you have 3 challenges and you screw up on challenge number 3, then do you go back and you have to do challenge number 1, number 2 all over again? The answer is that's not as much fun, and that's why we wanted to have checkpoints throughout the level. Okay, that makes sense. It's a very common thing. Several challenges, but you have checkpoints between them. So we wanted to have checkpoints, but we wanted to have a level of difficulty. The game is about precision, and it is about the skill of when to press and foresight and understanding everything that's happening around you. So there is a lot of being in the zone and knowing exactly when to move, when to press, and when to change things. And we wanted to make sure that is the main part of the game. You could go through it relatively, just one challenge at a time, but you could also force yourself, if you want to, in terms of difficulty, to go through an entire level without those checkpoints. And this would be an additional challenge that's only for people who really want that challenge. So we knew that, today in games, there's usually the 3-star system. If you're doing really well, you get all 3 stars, and if you do really crappy, you get only 1 or 0. So we wanted to have something similar to that, which kind of tells you of your progression throughout the level, or the amount of success you have through a level. It's a good system if you implement it correctly. The question is, what gives you 3 stars? What is the criteria for getting the stars and doing well in a level? And what we came up with initially was that there are checkpoints, okay, that do what you expect out of a checkpoint. And they're kind of along your way, but you can avoid them. And avoiding the checkpoints will actually get you to have 3 stars. If you go through the entire level without touching any checkpoint, which means if you die, you basically restart at the beginning of the level, then you get the most, you get 3 stars. And then we thought about it a little bit more, and then we realized that that's counterintuitive as hell, and that it kind of doesn't make sense. So we have to make something a little bit more intuitive that makes more sense, right? And we got to what we thought about is that we basically have pickups along the way, and these pickups are crystals. They also serve as kind of a good thing. You pick up a crystal and then you can see the crystal and that you have it, I'm saying crystal, it could be anything. We haven't got the art down yet, but think of it as a crystal. You pick up the crystal and a checkpoint is on your way, but the checkpoint only activates if you have a crystal, and that crystal goes away. So if you finish the level with all the crystals, you get 3 stars. But if you don't, if you finish it with less crystals, then you get less stars. Now this gives us 2 things. One, that along your casual playthrough, you can actually miss crystals and then miss checkpoints, which really sucks. And that's okay with us, because the game isn't meant to be incredibly easy. The crystals, we're going to put the crystals in very obvious places. You're going to want to get most of the crystals. We don't have to have a crystal to checkpoint ratio of 1 to 1. We don't have to have that. I could have 15 crystals and 10 checkpoints. Okay, that's a really big number. But I could have that, so it might not be as bad. You could get 3 stars, you got to get everything. 3 stars is going to be difficult. But if you collect just some of the crystals, and you're fine, okay? You're going to be fine. You have 2 crystals between between the checkpoint and a checkpoint, so you should be fine in collecting them. And it adds to the difficulty and to how you really. It makes sense that crystal kind of goes into the checkpoint, but it allows you to also kind of veer off the way and kind of try to avoid the checkpoint, which is on your standard path and how you'd expect to go through the level. So what we're expecting to happen is for most people to start out a level and go through it normally, and then try and think of clever ways to avoid the checkpoints. Get the crystals, as anyone would, but then avoid the checkpoint. And we think that could be really cool, and that opens up a lot of options for us in terms of level design, which is probably going to be the most interesting part for us, and why I'm really excited to work on this game, and I'm really enjoying working on this game, because the coding not going to be that difficult. The mechanics are rather simple, and the strongest part of this game is going to be the level design, and that's going to be the real test here, the real challenge for me to get good level design. Something that I haven't experienced too much in the past, and I really want to get good at. So yeah, that's it. That's going to be checkpoints and levels, and I'm currently hard at work, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, if you have any questions, as usual, just let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them.